Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the I Love Nail Polish Fall 2016 collection. There are actually two collections here. 6 are the fall neutrals and then 7 are the fall 2016 collection. So there are 13 polishes total. Lots to show you. These are available for pre-order right now, so I will link the website down below and I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called Elle, and this is a very light pale nude with holographic flakies in it. So here's one coat. So this one is very sheer. It is a lighter color, but it's also really close to my skin tone. Fantastic formula though, super easy to apply. So here's 2 coats. This one is starting to build up on the second coat. I can still see my nail line pretty well, so I'll do a third. Because these are flakies that are in here and not actual micro glitter, these dry really smooth and they remove easily as well. So here's 3 coats. So you can still see the nail line a little bit on this one after that third coat, but I don't mind it because it covers really evenly. So it just looks like nice and clean and slightly sparkly manicure with the 3 coats, even with the nail line showing. If it was streaky at all, it would be a problem, but it's not. So there is 3 coats of Elle. So the next polish is called Chleo, and I forgot to mention, the first 6 that I'm doing are the neutrals. A lot of these are kind of similar if you don't look at them together. So here is Chleo next to Elle. You can see it's a lot darker and a little bit more pink as well, which is hard to pick up on camera. So here's one coat. This one is also pretty sheer on the first coat, but it does cover evenly. And fantastic formula. It's not thick at all, but it's not so thin that it will run down the sides of the nail either. So here's 2 coats. So this one is starting to build up, but it's still a bit sheer. These 2 lighter colors especially remind me a lot of the OPI soft shades and like Essie's bridal collection, where not everything gets completely opaque, but it looks nice and clean, except these have that added holographic. So here's 3 coats. So this one is still a bit sheer on the third coat, but like I said for the last one, as long as it covers evenly, I personally don't think that looks that bad. And these will dry nice and smooth as well, because those are flakies, not glitter. So there is 3 coats of Chleo. The next polish is called Central Station, and this is a like medium taupe color with that scattered holographic. So here's one coat. This one is also a bit sheer on that first coat. Same formula on this one as well, near perfect, not too thick or too thin. So here is 2 coats. This one is starting to cover really well, especially compared to those 2 much lighter colors. It still does have a few light spots though, so I'm going to do 3. So here's 3 coats. So this one covers completely in 3, and you can see it makes it considerably darker, but I do think you could pretty easily get away with 2 if you didn't care about it being a little bit darker. So there is 3 coats of Central Station. The next polish is called Alexander, and this is a kind of darkish, I guess, medium to dark gray with that scattered holographic. So here's one coat. And you can see this one is sheer on the first coat. A little bit uneven, not terrible at all, like really not even notable, but just compared to the last 3, it's a little bit uneven. And the formula on this one is fantastic as well. So here's 2 coats. So this is building up nicely with 2, but there are still some light spots, so I'm going to do a third. And as far as these being sheer goes, the fact that they're in a little bit more of a jelly base, if they were more opaque than they are, you would not be able to get this kind of like holographic sparkle out of them. So here's 3 coats. You can see this does get a little bit darker with the third coat, but for the most part it just covers up those light spots. These all actually dry pretty shiny as well. So there is 3 coats of Alexander. The next polish is called Industrial Park, and this is a slate blue with that scattered holographic. So here's one coat. This one is in that jelly base as well, so it's a bit sheer on the first coat. Same great formula as all the other ones though. So here's 2 coats. This one still has just a few light spots for me. I think some people, if you're not picky or depending on your application, you could probably get away with 2. But I'm going to go ahead and do a third. So here's 3 coats. And it does get a little bit darker with that third coat. Like I said, you could probably easily get away with 2. I just kind of max out at 3, so I like to see what it's going to do if it's not 100% opaque in 2. So there is 3 coats of Industrial Park. The next polish and the last polish in the fall neutrals is La Catedral, and this is a dark, it's like a gray with a teeny bit of blue. It's like a slightly blue-gray but very dark polish with that scattered holographic in it. So here is one coat. This one is also a bit sheer on that first coat because it is a jelly. Great formula though. So here's two coats. And this one is like the other darker shades, really close to being completely opaque in 2, but not quite there. I definitely think you could get away with it in 2, but I'm going to add that third. So here's 3 coats. So 3 coats does make it a bit darker still. Again, these dry super shiny. So there is 3 coats of the Catedral. So now we're starting with the actual fall collection. This first one is called Clever Girl, and this is a slightly muted, I guess, or like slightly dirty light blue with the scattered holographic, and then it also has this kind of pink to green to gold shift to it. So here is one coat. And this one is pretty sheer on that first coat. Great formula though, not too thick or too thin. So here is 2 coats. So this one is starting to build up, but it is going to need a third because I can see my nail line pretty well. That flashing, shifting shimmer in there stands out really nicely. So here's 3 coats. So this one covers really well on the third coat. I wouldn't say that it is 100% opaque, but you do have to look very, very closely to see your nail line. And this one will also dry smooth because that scattered holographic is made up of flakies instead of glitter. So there is 3 coats of Clever Girl. The next polish is called Extra Credit, and this is a dark kind of teal color with a ton of holographic and scattered holographic in it. So here's one coat. Again, a little bit sheer on the first coat, but it does cover really evenly, and fantastic formula on this one. So here's 2 coats. This one is still a bit sheer on that second coat, so I am going to do a third, but I also think depending on like the thickness of your coats and everything, this would be easy to get into because these 2 fingers look pretty good and that one doesn't quite. So here's 3 coats. This one covers completely in 3, and like I said, depending on if you do thick or thin coats, you could be 2 or 3 for you, because mine weren't even consistent across this whole hand and some nails didn't need a third coat. So there is 3 coats of Extra Credit. The next polish is called Highline, and this is a gold, green, blue, and a little bit of purple multi-chrome. So here's one coat. This one is a little bit sheer on the first coat. Most multi-chromes are, but I do think this has one of the stronger shifts out of all the multi-chromes, that I've tried. So here's 2 coats, and this one does cover completely in 2. You can get some brush strokes with this, so you do want to be careful to try to make them as straight as possible. A lot of the brush strokes go away as it dries, but they don't all go away as it dries. So there is 2 coats of Highline. The next polish is called Chocolate Slate, and this is a brown holographic, but it has a bit of a red shift, and there's some kind of little flaky in there as well. It's hard to tell exactly what it is in the bottle, but you can see the shape against the sides. So here is one coat. This one is a bit sheer on the first coat. Great formula though. So here's 2 coats. This one covers completely in 2. I did much thicker of a coat on my pointer finger than I usually do, but it looks like it's going to cover in 2 regardless. And this one also dries super shiny. So there is 2 coats of Chocolate Slate. The next polish is called Sitting Fireside, and this is one of those really warm pink, red, orange, gold shifting multi-chromes, but this has a scattered holographic through it as well. So here's one coat. So this one also is a bit sheer on the first coat, but multi-chromes usually are. Great formula on this one, and that scattered holographic stands out really nicely. So here's 2 coats. And this one does cover completely in 2. The shift on this one definitely isn't as strong as it was in the last one. So there is 2 coats of Sitting Fireside. The next polish is called Mon Amour, and this is a dark, it's gotta be like a black jelly. It's hard to tell because it has this really strong red pink flash to it, and then scattered holographic. So here's one coat. This actually looks a bit more bluish purple, but I think once it's built up, it's just gonna look black. Great formula on this one. I feel like it's a little bit thicker than a lot of the other ones have been, but not too thick. So here's 2 coats. And this one does cover completely in 2. I feel like this is the only one so far that has dried slightly dull, so you will definitely want top coat. So there is 2 coats of Mon Amour. And the last polish is called the Harpist, and this is a gold base with super sparkling flakies and some holographic added. So here is 1 coat. So this is a bit sheer on the first coat, but the flakies are super dense, and there's a ton of sparkle to this as well. Great formula. It won't be hard to remove because those are flakies, not glitter, but the flakies will get all over your skin, which is why I saved this one for last. So here is 2 coats. So 2 coats does cover completely on this one. Because these are flakies, they do lay relatively flat, but I can see here on my ring finger I have a couple that are sitting up. They're not rough like a glitter, but you can see them sticking up a little bit, so you will definitely want top coat. So there is 2 coats of the Harpist. So I really liked the neutrals as a whole. My favorite one is Industrial Park because I really like that dark slate blue with the scattered holographic flakies in there. I think it is super pretty. So that one is my favorite. So that is the I Love Nail Polish Fall 2016 collection. Again, those are available for pre-order right now, so I will link the website down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.